Howdy. I'm AJ of the Safety Pants, and I'm here today to talk to you about being born in the wrong generation. No. I'm here to talk about being time traveling or anachronistic headmate, because that's what I am. Also, haven't talked in the body in a while, so my accent sounds like garbage. Can't really change it, so you're just gonna have to bear with me here. So, like, first off, what does it mean to be a time traveling hitman? We personally prefer anachronistic, but not everyone is super familiar with that word. Anachronistic meaning just sort of, yeah, I'm bad at explaining this. I'll put a definition for anachronistic on screen here, written by someone who's much better at this than me. The point is that I am from a different time period than the modern time period. There's a lot of differences. I personally am from around, I want to say 1970, 1971, 1972. I showed up here in 2022, I think, or late 2021. And I showed up at somewhere around 19 years old. So, one thing about our system is that once you show up, you're aware of like what the year is, like what's happening and all that. We don't have people who like show up and are like, what is this? Staring at a smartphone. Like, we know what everything around us is, but you don't remember experiencing it. Most of the people we have who've shown up are people who either like didn't exist in another world, just popped up in the 2020s or 2010s, I guess. Maybe just the 2000s, actually. I'm not really the one to ask about like our like calendar there. Point being, everyone has shown up and been aware of smartphones except for me and Victor, who may or may not still be around. Uh, Victor is, let's say his name so badly. He's an interject from Arcane, so he was the only other one I think that I know of who was like surprised by a lot in the modern world. Cause see, I know what a smartphone is, and I know how to use one. Like, I just kind of absorbed that knowledge, but I still haven't seen one before. Um, like I just like know a lot about it. I've never actually like held one and tapped on one, the first time I show up here, and that's a weird feeling. So this video is going to be like half talking about how this works, how it happens, and half me just talking about like the stuff I like about the 2020s, and most of it is stick deodorant. Okay, this is fantastic because okay, stick deodorant. This is also part of how I know what year I came from. Stick deodorant didn't like exist or like get big while I was alive. It was all aerosols, which I came to find out after coming here were very poisonous. Just very poisonous. That's not good. But I love this. I love that it's a stick. I love that you can just like use it, and there will not be like spray everywhere, and you don't have to like smell it when you apply it. Like, you can just forget that it's there. I think it's great. So, stick deodorant, my personal favorite. I love the internet. I think it's great also. I have my own website. It'll be linked down below. And I'm also, with some of my system members and friend, running something called Dyke Right, which is a revival of some old queer web things. Um, Also down below. So I think that's cool. Especially like it because, like, I could date my fam, who lives in another country, and I don't have to, like, call her to talk to her all the time. Like, I don't have to like get access to a phone or anything. I could just text her all the time. Like, I don't have to wait for letters to get to her to have something in writing. Um, so that's nice also. I like the lack of asbestos in most things. Oh, and I really love how accessible, like, proper tattoo supplies are. Um, I'm not really a tattoo person, but, like, we as a system are. And it would really suck if it wasn't, like, as easy to access, like, sanitation supplies, tattoo ink, all that. Oh, and speaking of that, I really love the accessibility of hormone therapy. Because FTM transsexual. I definitely prefer this to the rigmarole that was 1960s, 1970s trans healthcare. Oh, that's cool. But now let's actually like talk a bit about anachronistic headmates. I know I went on a little spiel there. I'm just real excited about all that. I've been here for a year now. Like that stuff it ain't that new to me now. But I just think it's neat. So how this happens is there's a few ways. Number one that's best I guess represented is a headmate who is coming from the system's childhood, who just didn't exist for a few years, and is just showing up now and is like, what's changed in all this time? What's going on? This is the form that's most represented in media, partly because it's really easy to make dramatic. And it'll just be like, what, what is this? What is this world? And often there'll be a child handmaid, but not always. This is a thing that also happens in real life. I just think that media portrayals of it get pretty silly. Because, like, being from a different time period doesn't, like, make you stupid. And also, like, a lot of the time the media portrayal will be, like, from 10 years ago, and they'll be, like, completely unable to fathom a smartphone. And it's like, we had smartphones in 2013. That they did exist. This isn't like the newest thing ever, but whatever. So that's one. Number two is to be an introject of some kind, which I kind of am, and which I am, and Victor is. Sorry, I'm so bad at saying it. Which is like you're just coming from a different time period. You existed in a different time period. And so you're showing up here, and that's that. And then the third thing, which is half of what happened to me, is just like your brain creates you as being from that time period. Like that's just what it sees for you. And then you show up, and that's just the time you remember being from. There's a lot of experiences of it. And not all of them are quite as positive as mine. I mean, like, I was an FTM transsexual, like, back in my day. Uh, so that's a lot easier to be now than it was. But there's also like some things I like sort of miss about that. Like I miss people knowing what a stone butch was, cause that's what I am. I miss not having butches be represented by cis women all the time, cause at least when I was around, butches weren't usually what nowadays we consider a cis woman. I mean, I sure wasn't. So yeah, I guess that's what I got to say on the subject. Thanks for listening. Thanks for chatting with me. I've been AJ of the Safety Pants of A Body at All. I guess like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do really. Um, and I don't know if you want to check my stuff out. I got some of it in the description. Uh, bye.